Hey guys, welcome back. This video is going to be a product review of the Athearn Genesis SD75I. This one is lettered for BNSF. It's a fantastic looking engine, really nice and crisp. This one is equipped with Tsunami sound, and so I'll show you how it sounds, how it performs, and what it looks like in the video. And I'm also going to show you the differences in a BNSF SD75I and a Santa Fe SD75M. And there are a couple little differences that I'll point out to you today. So alright, so let's have a look. Alright, well, let's get through the unboxing pretty quickly so we can get on to the review. It comes in a nice box, nice inserts, it's well protected, it's got a very short manual, and other than that, it's pretty standard. Okay, before we get into the actual physical features of the locomotive, let's go ahead and start up the sound system, and I'll let you guys hear how the Tsunami sound decoder in this engine sounds. Okay, now that you've gotten to hear what the engine sounds like, let's take a closer look at how it looks. The road number I picked up was 8301, which actually was the last SD75I that BNSF purchased, which was all the way back in December '97. Overall, the engine is extremely detailed. The lettering is crisp and very opaque. The color red looks nice and true, and the yellow looks good with no bleed over. The edges and lines are nice and even and crisp. The review here is done exactly as I pulled the engine out of the box, and so you'll see there actually the third stanchion on this side of the engine is actually out of its hole. That's actually the way it was. It popped back into place perfectly fine, but no modifications to the decoder or the engine the way it looks here. So get a good overall view of the engine here. It does have a nose light, which is appropriate, and ditch lights. The ditch lights are controlled independently from the nose light, but then do automatically come on and go off if they're on as you switch the locomotive from reverse to forward. You can see here the black line on the nose. That's actually what makes or is the I in SD75I. It's for an isolated cab. The line is a little more prominent on the model than it is on the engines that I've seen, but it does not look disproportional or anything. It looks pretty nice. It does have the appropriate 3 windshield wipers per window panel, which is accurate. And you can see here the handrails actually do not connect to the cab, which again is accurate. The gap there is a little bit larger than probably on the prototype, but it still looks good. You can see the handrails are a little bit wavy. They're not exactly straight. Again, afterwards, by popping the one back in place, it straightened it out some. Performance-wise, the engine performs very well. At speed step 1, which this is on, it actually crawls forward at 0.9 miles per hour. It is a little bit jerky in doing that, though. It's not perfectly smooth. The smoothest speed directly out of the box I could get it to run at was speed step 3, which is still very slow, and you end up with 2.8 miles per hour speed on that. And so that's pretty good. The top speed of the actual SD75I was 70 miles an hour, and the model is very close at 72. Okay, so now let's talk about the differences in an SD75M, which is on the left here, number 247, and an SD75I on the right, number 8301. The primary difference is the isolated cab, which is what the I stands for. An SD75I is pretty much an SD75M with an isolated cab, and then they also moved the headlight from above the cab to the nose on the engine, and then they switched from 2 windshield wipers to 3 windshield wipers. The SD75I also had the new longer EMD cab shades as opposed to the older ones that were found on the SD40s, 40-2s, and the like. And then they also added an antenna dome to the SD75I, and those are the primary differences between the two engines. The HTCR trucks are modeled quite well on the engines, which was one of the features of the SD75M and I as a new truck design that came out. Here you can see the differences in the light and the antenna dome. One of the things on the model, the ditch lights are a little bit oversized and they're centered between the stanchions on the nose. They really actually should be on the BNSF versions towards the outer stanchion, as you can see in the prototype photo here. But that's pretty minor. It does make them look a little close together, but I probably can live with that. Alright, so that's my review of the new Athearn Genesis BNSF SD75I. I think it's a great locomotive. It is actually still running on the rails today, although if it hasn't been renumbered yet, it's about to be renumbered into the 200 series along with the other SD75Is. It's a very nice looking locomotive. I'm going to enjoy running it on my way up. So if you model Western railroading anytime from the BNSF era on, then I think you ought to check it out. It's pretty nice. So with that, we're going to conclude the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you liked the review. And keep running your friends, keep operating, and that's what I'm going to do with my new BNSF SD75I.